Alright fellas, here we're back in our Pokemon Horizons video. We got ourselves episode 100, I think 103, pretty sure, which is the Burn Hot Nidothing Love video. I think that's what's called officially, but this is a good episode. Alright, this is a pretty good episode overall, and the ending of it is the best part. Like, honestly, I'm sorry, but I'm not the biggest fan of Nidothing. Dot, I do like how Nidothing operates a lot, like for Dot's character and stuff, but not the biggest fan of it like itself and Iono and stuff. Like, this is going to be new from the last preview. This is going to be a big Iono and Dot focused episode for the most part, and which honestly it was a little, but honestly it mostly focused more on Onya and Zerk, frankly. And we're gonna go ahead and get into it. All right, but the best part is like the end of this episode. It's gonna be some damn good stuff. So anyway, let's go ahead. So it opens up with Dot saying that's it for her, basically like her episode or whatever, monthly culture, fact or fiction checker, whatever. Got herself her Pokemon, and she's got a special guest, which is Iono. So Iono is here on the end of this video here, and they've been doing this little interaction here, but they basically gonna say they got some news, which is gonna be a special collab event, which is only gonna be tomorrow, bro. That's a very late notice. But I love the little instruments here on all of them. It's funny. But everyone's gonna be able to meet Nidothing and Iono here at the Olivencia City Central Plaza. There'll be a chance to meet them in person, and they'll be doing handshakes and hugs and stuff. Sure, interesting. Dot is not really sure how she feels about the hugs. Kind of Iono just kind of threw her in that, but that's how Iono tends to do things, I guess. You know, whatever. Just that you'll need a number ticket to be given out. They'll be given out before the event, and then Iono just ends the stream there for Nidothing. And I like the little scene. I like the little picture here of them both together, both of the streamers. Interesting. But you'll have to have a Nidothing ticket, right, or a thing for the event. Anyway, I don't know how many of those are given out, but hopefully quite a few. And then we get this shot of Liko here, which, a handshake from Nidothing or a hug, I've got to go to that event. Which is so funny to think about, considering obviously she already knows who Nidothing is, but we did have that whole spiel the last time. I forget how many episodes ago, where it's like there's a difference between the personality of the streamer and the friend that you know, like who the actual streamer is, and it's like it can be different, and you can love both of them in like different ways. So kind of what's going on here. Screaming out loud, all the Pokemon get scared, and we pan to Level's Quagsire here, which is just like a bento. Empty stomach may relish even a bento with no main course. Relish the evento. Not really sure the point of that quote there, but it's mostly just going to be talking about like having fun at the event, so sure. Dot says if she collabs with Iono, her videos are bound to get a ton of hits, her sub count will go up, and she can raise funds. So of course, you know, more views you get, more subscribers, more like live viewers and like live streams, donations and stuff like that, more money you can get, the more they can raise funds for the Rising Volt Tacklers. So I do like that they're trying to incorporate that like no episode is technically a filler episode, or like it goes too off course, because they're trying to make every single thing kind of like interlock into why and so like, so that it's for like the main goal of the Rising Volt Tacklers, right? So it's like we're not just doing this little event here just to have more Nidothing bits. Well, I mean, we probably are for that reason, but they're kind of also making it work for the story, because we know that they need to build up funding and stuff like that, because it's expensive to run a fucking airship. So Dot being able to bring in more viewership and more like event, like from this event and stuff like that, will be good for her being able to make more money to actually support the Rising Volt Tacklers, right? Liko says she can't wait. Asks Alt to come along. Alt says he couldn't care less about a goofball in a costume, and Liko gets pissed, or fired up more so, saying she's not just goofing around, it's always holding fun chats and giving out fantastic advice in order to cheer people up all over the world. Just pretty shocking all with that. And we get the little pan over to the Gimmighoul. The goddamn Gimmighoul, man. This fucking Gimmighoul. Gotta love it. Then we end up panning over to Zerk and Onya, talking about clues to Master Amethio's whereabouts coming up short. They've checked every spot, but there's no time for them to really be kicking back, even though they really are right now, which is funny. So nothing else that they can do, couldn't find any traces of the submarine being moored at any point, and they're all out of moves. Master Hamber has trusted them with the goal, though, so of course they're going to have to keep going. So they've been searching for Amethio forever. Ever since we saw that conversation of them with Hamber, they've been searching for Amethio the entire time, and have still not been able to find him. They've looked a lot of places. Hell of a lot of places. Starting tomorrow, let's check every last port one more time. Zerk is like, well, tomorrow, and he's kind of like probably more so the thing is, like, it's kind of pointless at this point to keep looking again in the same spots. Got to find something else different. And then we get ourselves the little Nido thing bit on the skyscraper, kind of taking our attention away from the whole Amethio talk. So Zerk and Oni are here for a reason, obviously looking for Amethio, but now we're going to be focusing more on the Nido thing bit. Say, I don't know, Nido Thing's event is tomorrow, meet up at Central Plaza, and of course Rhydon sees Nido Thing as like a Nido Queen, or a Nido or something. I'm not sure which species of the Nido line, I don't quite remember. Funny guy, right? And of course, here we got Zerk, who is a big Nido Thing fan, allegedly, apparently, and Onia just gives him that stare, which is funny. And then we get to the intro, which, again, this is the title, Burn Hot, Nido Thing Love, sure. Interesting. I guess it's a decent, it's a good title for, like, the episode, but definitely not, like, a highlight of it or anything like that. Definitely not better than, like, episode 100, We, the Rising Volt Tacklers. Very, very good. Anyway, people are having to line up. It's good. What are you doing? Liko. So Dot asks Liko what she's doing, and she says that she's come to get her number. And Dot just tells her that she would let her in without a ticket. I mean, obviously, makes sense. But Liko's pretty passionate about actually getting her a ticket fair and square in order to be qualified to actually meet Nido Thing. And, well, I am surprised Roy even knows what ardent means. So that's pretty interesting to think about there. I'm honestly more interested in that than this entire conversation, but whatever, sure. If you really want to, and we get Masquerada just being bored. So we love to have this cat pop in frame every once in a while. And at the bottom, you can actually see Masquerada's feet in the top left there. So this is right below. It's got the Gimme Ghoul. The Gimme Ghoul goes to the event. Liko got herself a ticket, number 78. Cool. But I guess everyone's going to be starting to collect Gimme Ghoul coins, which is pretty funny. So glad you got one, Liko. Yeah, number 78. Pretty good number. And Grusha actually recognizes Liko and is here for the event. And he's actually a big fan of Iono. I don't remember how much we actually truly explored into that. I think Scarlet and Violet itself actually explored a little bit into Grusha being a pretty big Iono fan. I don't quite remember exactly. It's been a minute since I've actually like played the games. But he is here for the Iono event, so it is. I'm interested to see like more of that, and like maybe like that dynamic between Grusha and Iono, seeing how that kind of goes. Probably not going to go anywhere, frankly, because I think they're trying to just like go all around Paldea. But it's okay. It's whatever. Points out that they are a fan of Iono. It says you do. I suppose I do the sort of stuff you'd expect a fan to do at least. And he's got number 6 as a ticket. Damn, number 6. Gotta love that. I'm gonna guess it's a priority system, by the way, where you probably are like first in line if you've got number 6. I would assume as much anyway, but it also could just be random. Who knows? Number 6 got here pretty early, so Grusha's an ardent fan too. And then everyone is starting to pick up the I almost said Iono coins, the Gimme Ghoul coins, and are now going to be giving it to Gimme Ghoul. So I don't know what the entire point of this is, by the way. I guess my assumption is that they're giving this Gimme Ghoul a bunch of Gimme Ghoul coins so that like over the course of a few episodes, and then he'll eventually evolve into a Golden Go and someone is going to get it. That's kind of my assumption. That makes the most sense to me. And then we see that Zerk actually got a ticket as well, number 112, which is Rhydon's index number, or a Pokedex number. That's actually interesting. I remember this line when I watched the episode, but now I'm actually remembering it. That's actually very cool. I'd like that they did that, Rhydon's Pokedex number of being 112. At least I'm assuming as much. I'm not going to fact check that, but I don't think they'd lie about it. Honestly, that happy about it, huh? I'd like that Oni is at least like relatively supportive of Zerk here, honestly. I do like their friendship, or at least like their camaraderie in a sense. I really do like them both together. It's very nice. With this, he gets to meet Nido Thing. Then the ticket blows out of his hands and goes down a drain. So Rhydon pulls up the drain, but it's a bunch of water down there. You're not getting that ticket. So he starts to freak out, and well, now he gets bummed entirely. Says my handshake with Nido Thing, my hug with Nido Thing, and Rhydon just starts jumping up and down. He's pissed too. He wants to do something to Nido Thing. My God. Anyway, he's so beside himself, there's nothing I can say. And so they ask if Dot's going to be heading to the venue already, saying that the rehearsal... And she says yes, saying that the rehearsal will be starting soon. They got to hash things out with Iono. And well, they actually meet up with Onia. I'll be honest with you, I don't really understand this reaction too much. I guess it kind of makes sense in a way, because the last time they had really met with the Explorers was... No, it still doesn't really make sense to me. The last time they really met up with the Explorers was when all of them and Amethio fought against Gibeon, right? And like the remaining explorers. But it's like Zerk and Odia were there to kind of like help the trio get through the remaining explorers so that they could actually go to where Gibeon and Amethio and like Lucius and all them were. Like they helped kind of like break the path through. So I'm not sure why they react in this exact way. I mean, I guess it's been a while, and I guess they don't know that they aren't fully aligned with the explorers anymore. I'm not sure. Doesn't really matter though. We get ourselves the little reunion between the two. Zerk just does not care. Onia says that it's the Rising Volt title. He says, "Oh, that's so he's so bummed. You got to show some drive." And so they kind of just halt there, saying he's a fan of Nidothing, but he lost his numbered ticket, and by now they stopped giving them out. She asked if they're going to go to the event too, and he says that Zerk was really looking forward to it. And of course, they do. This is what I was talking about. Like they flash back to the actual segment here, where they had actually like protected them all and fought against the explorers so that they could go further into the forest there, or the woods, or Lockweem infested area, whatever you want to call it. Doc goes over to goes over to Zerk, says, "Mr. Zerk, I don't really care about it all that much. So do you want to go instead of me?" And so, which actually, by the way, the fact Dot has a ticket is kind of, I'm not the This is a major nitpick, like a big nitpick, but it's like she getting a ticket is bumming someone else of a ticket. Think about it, because obviously she's Nidothing itself, so like you don't really need. She doesn't need a ticket. She's obviously the main star of the event. So like the fact that one person probably was like, "Oh, you don't get a ticket anymore," is like that's kind of sad. But we're not going to meet that person. It's not really that big a deal. Zerk gives her the cold stare, looks at her Pokemon, is like, "Don't lie. You have the exact same Pokemon that Nidothing does, and you're a huge fan of Nidothing." Yeah, that's totally the case, right? I can never rob someone like you of a ticket. Without that number 112 ticket with my own hands, I'm not qualified to go to the event. And Liko actually agrees with him, saying that she knows how he feels. They need to look for it and help look for the ticket. I mean, they're all pretty surprised by this, but of course we know like Liko's whole idea of this, right? We know like how she feels like about this stuff is like, you got to kind of work for it. You got to like show your drive as a fan and stuff. Is like, Zerk and her kind of are on the same page about that. It does make sense. And another little frame of Meowscar out of there. Neat. We've got Dot as the midpoint section character, and then on the other side it's gonna be Zerk and Onia there, which is in their regular outfits, which is fine. I mean, whatever. I like their current outfits though. By the way, I think they actually have really really good casual outfits. I love them. Anyway, so Dot calls Iono and apologizes, saying that they ran into trouble. Iono says that rehearsal's about to start and just ends up pretty much hanging up on her, which is funny. She asks where the drains lead, and mostly saying that they go, I believe, under like a central plaza, I'm pretty sure. Cap goes into the drains and lights up the area with like some electric attacks and stuff like that to try and see through. And Zerk actually says that Liko is the Sprigatito superfan. I'm pretty sure in the dub it's called Sprigatito Love, but I don't remember. That was like episode 30 or something, episode 40. It was a long ass time ago, man. And she says she was shocked when you find out that you're a muscle of a Rhydon. I love those usernames. It's so funny. But hey, it's actually pretty cool to see that they are both like recognizable members of Nidothing's chat, probably. I do like it. It's interesting. Iono says she looked into it, and apparently there's a big drainage that leads to the central plaza, and hangs up on Iono. Look at that. It's so funny. I love that. We might be swept away around here, apparently, but all right, let's get straight to the search. So, the central plaza here is probably about where the ticket would be, but now we're going to be getting into a little montage here of them all searching for it. They ask, how do you plan to look for it? And says Golduck would be good at swimming, but Kay's got sensitive skin and can't swim in seawater, or salt water, I'm assuming, which is so dumb. Which, by the way, I mean, I think this would have been a cool way to I guess nod back to the fact that Rhydon can learn surf. Make Rhydon the one that can swim. That'd be cool. But anyway, whatever. It should still be around here. There's a chance it might have washed up somewhere, and then they'll all go and split up and search. Zerk is, of course, happy that they'll help him out and says that they'll find the ticket no matter what. So they get on boats, look at the... That's a good way to make a boat tip, having a Rhydon chilling on a boat. Rhydon falls off of the boat. Actually, I think that's the boat. I think that's part of the plaza. And then ends up on a beach and is pretty disheveled. Surprised. I don't know how you would say that, to say the least. It's still coming up short. Maybe it's not here. And Iono gives Dot another call, pretty much alerting everyone there. So she has to be pretty quiet about this, and you have serious problems if you don't get here soon. She says that she hears her and that she's got to get going. So She ends up walking off to. They ask where she actually went, and they said she has to go to get to the event early. And Zerk says, "Thank you, everyone, done plenty. It wouldn't be right for you to run late on my account." So it is good to see Zerk being a great he's a great person, obviously, or at least a nice person. I mean, of course, they were a part of the Explorers originally and everything like that, but right now they mostly just probably care about finding Amethio. And of course, they're allies in a sense for the most part. They say, "Mr. Zerk, are you really okay with not meeting Nidothing?" He says he's got no choice. Liko asks if he's okay with that, and he says, "You want to shake hands with Nidothing?" And Zerk says, of course he does, but Liko just kind of interrupts him there, saying, "If you want to meet her, then do it. Keep searching until they can find it. Keep up." And this is not only a parallel it's obviously, find the Nidothing ticket, go to the Nidothing event, yada yada, but it's more so a parallel of them having to respark their search for Amethio, right? Is they're running out of steam, running out of gas. They've looked everywhere, can't find them. But now they've got to really keep trying on that. You really got to keep going and hammer on and everything, right? Search until we find it. You're right. I'm gonna shake hands with Nidothing no matter what. I do like Onya's smile there as well, by the way. And they say, "Let's give it one last shot. I'm sure we'll find it." Crocoler goes running off into the sand and gets walloped by a Wug Trio, which has his ticket. There it is, number 112. That's my numbered ticket. Rhydon goes to run at the Wug Trio. It spins Rhydon up in a vortex and starts smacking it with its heads and just knocks it back down. So yeah, Wug Trio a little bit strong apparently. It's really bad. Meowscarada stopped the Wug Trio from moving. Tries to do that, tries to grab it, and just falls flat on his fucking face. Oh, it's funny. This cat tries to jump and just does not do it. That's Dig. Meowscarada on your right jumps, falls again. Again, I love seeing this fucking cat just fail. It's so funny. They make Meowscarada clutch up when it needs to. They make Meowscarada look pretty badass, we can't lie, but they also make it so goofy, like a cat should be. I like how they characterize it in the series. It's very good. Or I guess her, because it's a female Meowscarada. But anyway, they try to get Rhydon to attack the Wug Trio again, and it just gets Team Rocket blasting off again, hit by the Wug Trio, but it does actually come back down, which is pretty rare for them. Crocoler goes to attack the Wug Trio and actually gets up behind it and around it to actually encircle it, but the Wug Trio breaks free and starts smacking Crocoler as well and knocks it into the sand. They ask how they can catch it, but that's not going to happen. Spoiler, no one actually ends up catching the thing here. I don't know why they said that exactly. So Cap ends up going for a Thunder Punch on it. For some reason, it doesn't dig. I think it's kind of dumb. A little bit dumb that they didn't use too much strategy here. Cap just ended up hitting it. It didn't use dig. It didn't do anything. Kind of dumb, but hey, whatever. Ends up shocking it. Stop moving. Rhydon goes ahead and goes to attack the Wug Trio. I think it partially misses here. But it does end up getting the ticket and actually stuck on its horn, so they did succeed there. They didn't actually end up catching or defeating the Wug Trio, but they did actually end up getting the ticket back, which is the whole point, so neat. Anyway, they did get the numbered ticket back. They say they gotta hurry, the event's about to start. I do like the little frame here, very, very nice. They've got the ticket. Sweet. It's good to see. We can see Grusha here at the event alongside of Citadel and everyone else with their little, I don't know what you call these. I've never actually been to an event, so I don't know what they are, but the little paddles, I guess, that have the celebrity on them, or the quotes from the celebrity, stuff like that. They're pretty common at events, of course. And they got there with about 10 seconds to start. Nidothing pops out, spinning, grooving. All the Pokemon trainers out there coming in for a min. Everyone's pal. Nidothing, yeah, whatever. I don't know what it is in the dub. I don't quite remember. Of course, Rhydon here is having a great time, apparently. Everyone's here with the Nidothing, little paddle, I don't know, cheerleader things. I don't know what you call them. I don't know, also pops out as well. So, of course, massive event, ton of people here. My God, that is a lot of people. They must have given out a shitload of those tickets. Probably not enough, though, given the popularity of these streamers, right? Makes sense. They're both so popular. Today, they've got an event with Nidothing and her. So, enjoy to your heart's content. We got ourselves these fun little bits here of them singing, dancing, and stuff. Next up is a dance corner, and they'll actually be choosing, I believe they'll be choosing someone from the crowd here. Yeah, she would call upon us to do a powerful dance for us, and they end up actually calling on Zerk's Rhydon. So I'm glad that Dot did that. That was actually very kind of her to actually call out for Zerk and stuff to come up to her event and stuff. It's actually very, very nice. I do love that. So Rhydon ends up dancing around with Quaxwell, and Zerk ends up dancing with Nidothing. That's pretty funny. And then Rhydon, this is a little iffy to me. Nidorina, think it'd be better to go for a Nidoqueen, but at the same time, kind of makes sense given that Rhydon's also a middle evolution. but whatever, doesn't really matter too much. This kind of shows us that Rhydon sees it as like a neat arena instead of or like not like just that's why the Rhydon is so interested in Nidothing here. It's so funny. You want to dance with Nidothing? Told you, not a Pokemon. And we get this funny chase sequence. It's awesome. And we can see that up at the top. I actually cut off Lico's face there. I can't really take that back though. Oh well, that's fine. Man, why'd I have to cut that off? That sucks. It's just basic recording stuff, whatever. But we actually see like Roy's face. Roy and Lico are giving the same kind of face there, which is it's just like the event's pretty funny there. Also, I like that Jolteon up there. Like I like all the Pokemon here, whatever. And then the event, of course, ends there, and we got ourselves like the signing and stuff like that. Lico goes up, Nidothing, I love you, keep doing your best. I love the little interaction there, calling her Litten super fan and everything. Wow, or not Litten, Sprigatito. I remember the Nabby super fan girl from the however many episodes ago, probably like 10 or 12 episodes ago now or so. Zerk comes up, Nidothing, you were incredible, so were you. Thanks for the info on the Para Fluffy Cotton Candy that one time, muscles of a Rhydon. Interesting. And of course, Rhydon's still massive fan of Nidothing there. Gotta love that. Iono actually sees Grusha there as well, saying the event was fun. Nice, counting on you to keep up the streams. Understand well and good. And he just leaves. You know, he's pretty cool, but I mean, at least he supports his friends or something. I don't know. I don't know what his relationship with Iono is, whether they're friends or just like comrades as gym leaders, or like he's just a fan. I don't know. I have no idea there. Anyway, Oni actually goes up to Grusha saying that she's been a huge fan, joyful of the Pro Borders days, but also adores the cool as ice Grusha now even more, asking to shake his hand, which is quite respectful. She actually doesn't like fangirl a lot, just a handshake being simple, very nice. And also pets his Citadel, which is nice. I actually like that. Everyone kind of got what they want out of this. Zerk and Lico and everyone got to support Nidothing, and then Oni, of course, also got to meet Grusha. It's kind of funny that none of the main crew was really here for Iono. That's actually kind of funny. Anyway. So they go to pick up Dot and actually go behind stage, and Zerk actually tells them that or goes to try and thank them. Oh boy. You can kind of see where this leads, right? Good work today. Thanks everyone. It was so much fun. Lico just hides her face, which is so funny. What? And then we hear what, and Roy looks back and we can see, oh my god, their faces. Look at his fucking face, bro. It's so funny. Oh my god. But we can see Dot, of course, out of the Nidothing costume, and well, and they just cut away. They don't really explain that. They just cut away. Nidothing was a member of the Rising Volt Tacklers this whole time. Imagine that. All this time, all the things I've done, because it really came as a shock. I don't know why they're depressed about that. I guess, you know, kind of seeing like what the person that your celebrity really is kind of can do something to you. I'm not really sure. It's probably just kind of like a nod to that. But I'm not really the biggest fan of this. How they kind of blow past this. You'll see it. But we can see Dot coming out in the Nidothing costume again. Like obviously Lico, Zerk, and Rhydon. Why was Rhydon even depressed? Whatever, it doesn't matter. I guess Rhydon makes sense to be the most depressed considering he thought it was a Pokemon, but whatever. So did you have fun at the events tonight? Lico said has lots of fun. Eric says you're the best. You know, all that stuff. Yeah, that they kind of blew past that. I don't really get that. But Onya and Roy, Meowscarada, I like how Meowscarada just acts as like its own character. It's actually so funny. And also Roy is just about as tall as Onya here. How old are they? Like if you look at it, I mean, look at Roy and Lico next to each other. They're about the same height. And then Onya is like barely taller, like pretty much barely taller. I mean, Roy's about as tall as Meowscarada. How tall is Meowscarada? I mean, I'm probably looking at it too much, but I actually want to look at it. Okay, never mind. We gotta. I think we're fine. 4'11". I mean, this cat looks a lot taller than that. I mean, the anime definitely does a lot different on its height. I don't know. Either way, Roy looks a lot taller here than maybe he should be, or someone looks taller here than they should be, or shorter than they should be. I don't know. Whatever. Doesn't matter, I suppose. And the other thing just says thank you for everyone for real. So I'm not sure. I don't really like that they kind of just skip past that. We just like Zerk seeing Dot in the Nidothing costume. Zerk and Onya both seeing Dot in the Nidothing costume. Like, that's to me it's a pretty big thing. I think they shouldn't have like spun past that just so quick. We just saw a very minor depressed moment from Zerk, and then instantly afterwards, like, you know, Nidothing just comes out in the costume again, or like Dot comes out in the costume again, and it just like they're like, oh yeah, it's cool, and then we just skip past it. Like I wanted to kind of see more like the progress on that. Like That's odd to me. I hope that they make more play into it later. I hope so. Anyway, so Oni and Zerx say to the girl, yeah, they're thinking the same thing. Liko, could we have a moment? And they tell her Amethio is missing. Look, I was watching this episode, and it was like, from this moment, I was like, they're probably going to tell her. And it's just like, you just see Liko's reaction. Amethio is missing, and you see the ... question mark. That kind of hurts a lot to see. Is like, he's been missing for a while. Saying they've been searching for Master Amethio, not as the explorers, but as ourselves, which is why we have something to ask you. Please come back with us. Help us look for Master Amethio. And we get, this is a damn good frame out. This is a damn good shot. A little painted shot there. I love that. But I like the reaction there. Like, Amethio being missing. Like, of course, like, obviously Amethio was like the original person that came to like steal her pendant and like Terapagos and everything, which, by the way, we haven't seen Terapagos at all this episode, I'm pretty sure. Or like, was she just carrying Terapagos? I don't think she ever was carrying Terapagos at all in this episode. I think she was just in its Pokeball. But anyway, just like seeing this here with Liko, like Liko saying that Amethio's missing, like I don't know, I just really liked it. Like, she obviously has some level of care for him, given like how much he's helped her out and like how much they like work together at the very end, right? So bringing back Amethio could be a very big part of this. So we get ourselves the Nido thing bit. Mega Evolution Special, Gengar is here. Mega Evolution you've been waiting for. Bonds with the Mega Gengar are twisted. It will even try to place curses upon its very own trainer. Which, I don't think I'd like to own a Mega Gengar then. But yeah, get very scared. Next episode. Next episode's gonna be really fucking good. Really good. I would never imagine I'd be working alongside Sprigatito Superfan someday. We get to see Onia there driving the boat. And also, we get to see... Yeah, there's a lot of progress. Okay, I want to talk about it as it happens. Yeah, here we go. I never would have thought that I get a chance to see little Sprigatito all grown up face to face. So Oni, of course, had kidnapped Sprigatito, like episode 3 or 4 or something of the series, right? Like how they used to be like major villains, like the major villains basically. And it was like super obsessed with Sprigatito because of how cute it was and stuff. I was like, well, now it's actually all grown up into a Meowscarada. And well, it's actually, this episode is like not only gonna be good for what we're gonna see here in a few frames, but also really good because we get to see the actual original explorers, Zerk and Onia, interactions with just Liko. Not Liko and her friends, not the Rising Volt Tacklers as a whole, just Liko. I'm really excited to see it. I think it's gonna be really good. And of course, they get to actually walk into Amethio's whose mansion is this? Like, realistically, is it like Gibeon's family's mansion? I don't know. I mean, Hamber is like the only one that really lives here because Amethio's mother's dead, right? Gibeon's now dead. Amethio's missing. He's like, is Hamber just the only one here? Whatever. I never thought I was gonna see a chance to see Sprigatito all grown up. And we actually see Charcadet here, Liko's Charcadet, looking at all of Amethio's pictures. Amethio with his own Charcadet, Hamber with his Dusknoir, and if you look at the very far left, it's slightly cut out of frame, but that leftmost picture with Amethio's like mother on the beach there, or snowy mountains. I actually can't really tell what it is. It looks like snow, but you can actually also see Amethio playing with a little Charcadet there. But you can see, point is, you can see like baby Amethio, his mother, and like his family and stuff like that, mostly with Charcadet there. And next episode, though, I mustn't, I'm not really sure what that means there. But for now, I must prioritize finding Master Amethio. I can't let my emotions interfere. I do not know who is exactly saying this. This could be Hamber. I'm not sure. They could actually be taking Liko to meet Hamber, but I don't think we ever see it officially. And then we get the man himself. We actually get a frame of Amethio here, multiple frames actually. I can't simply gaze at little Meowscarada. I need to focus on my mission. That might be Onia, I'm not sure, but we have my boy got a ponytail. It ain't doing much for him, I'll be honest. Your hair is still all over the place, my guy, but damn. You got that Link Breath of the Wild ponytail. Man, I'm glad to see Amethio back. I'm very curious to see how this goes. Do we continue next time on Pokemon? We got ourselves the Ceruledge versus Charcadet there. Charcadet's Wish. So I'm very excited for the next episode. Needless to say, like it has the chance to be one of my favorite, like top 4 or top 5 episodes of Mega Voltage thus far. Like, of course, it's gonna be hard to be like We the Rising Volt Tacklers and like a lot of the episodes where a lot of the crew like it comes back and stuff like that, right? But I love Amethio. Amethio is I think on my tier list, which is still I think my recommended video for everyone to watch. I'm pretty sure I put Amethio either like the top of like A tier or he's in S tier. He's one of those ranks. I forget, but he is easily like one of my top 5 favorite characters in this series. It's so good. So I'm very curious to see what he's been doing, how he's been progressing. I mean, he's been visually progressing. That ponytail is sick. All right, I'm very curious to see how that goes. But it seems it's gonna be focusing also on like Char Cadet here, Liko Char Cadet. It seems like they actually are gonna end up meeting Liko and Amethio are going to end up meeting probably, or at least they're going to find Amethio, considering we can see the alleged fight probably between Ceruledge and Char Cadet here, whatever's going to happen. And maybe we'll see Char Cadet evolve. I mean, it'd be very, very low amount of time as a Char Cadet, right? But we could see it evolve. And will it evolve into a Ceruledge to also like partner up with Amethio Ceruledge, or will it be an Armarouge just for the for like, having either or, right? Probably Armarouge. I would actually really like to see Ceruledge though, but hey, whatever. We'll have to see. So anyway, very excited to see this episode. Next episode's gonna be super, super good. Let me know what you all think about it in the comments below. Yeah, we're gonna be tuning in. We're gonna be tuning in. So yeah, I'll see you later. I hope you all enjoyed. Peace.